Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Tradevester and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this series, I will offer my perspective on min numbers in VeVe, but before introducing the subject itself, I'll introduce myself briefly. So here we go. So I started briefly getting into investing in personal finance last year. So I started with stocks, then after a few months I got into options as well. I'm a strong believer in Tesla, amongst others. However, I didn't get into crypto until this year. So first with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and finally, in March 2021, I found out about VeVe and then OMI. So right away, I was blown away by the project, and I could see the potential. So my phone was too old for the VeVe app to work, so the first thing I did was I bought a tablet for the sole purpose of installing VeVe, and I don't regret that decision one bit. So that's how my VeVe journey started, with just on time for the Back to the Future drop, where I ended up with double the amount of deliverance that I expected, but good times. So since then I've been very active on the app, in particular the marketplace that I love, scrolling through to see what's available. So I love numbers, and you'll soon discover my favorite one. And so after a few weeks and now a few months and then gathering all this information and creating some Excel files to have a better idea of everything I had collected thus far in terms of min numbers, I felt that the time was right to start sharing my take on those numbers, and this first ever YouTube video. So before I get into the subject itself, so one last thing, I want to do some special shout outs. So number one is the Rebuild Doc, with whom I've been chatting a lot in his comment section, and probably almost as much as I did on the entire rest of YouTube up until that point. So shout out to you, my man, continue your work, it's awesome. And then I also want to say quickly a shout out, this is the comic way as well. So those are what you bring is invaluable to us, and we're learning a lot. So keep up the good work. And finally, but not the least, so I wanted to just mention my fellow Canadians, so Chad and Carson from NFT Pirates. So I think those two channels, they have inspired me to, I guess, transform myself from a long-time YouTube lurker to, part-time content creator, I guess. So here we go. So as I said, now I created this series. So because I think the numbers, so you see the number underneath your collectible, but there's more that means the item just a number. So so for example, I think it's a very well-known fact now that the low mins are quite valuable, but it's not just the low mins. There are other kind of min numbers that are interesting, and maybe some of them you might not have thought about before. So I hope to share my views on this, and maybe some of you will learn something new after I'm done with this series. So here we go. So alright, so as you can see here, so basically I think that those numbers, they can be separated into 4 categories, so with each category having its own YouTube video. So currently, so this is part 1, the introduction, and then so we have part 2, 3, 4, 5 for those 4 categories, And without further ado, so the first category is, I called it the leading zero squad. So, well, the original name was the race winners, but we know that very recently it was changed that the numbers you get, they are randomized, so it's not a matter of the first one to click, well, you get the lowest number. So now I change this for the leading zero squad, because the more zeros, that means the lower you are, so there we go. Then the second category, well, there's no name yet, because I just couldn't find a cool name yet for this category, but so we'll see. Either I find something by the time I create that video, or well, maybe the community will have ideas, so we'll see. So stay tuned for that. And then, so the third category, I call it the beauty contest. So we'll see when we get there what that is about. And finally, well, we have category 4, which the difference with category 2 is that I do have a name for it, but I'll keep it a surprise for now. So we'll have to wait and see. And so again, it's the fourth category, but I think it's the one with where the most surprises will be. So I can't wait to get there and to share all of that with you. So I think for me that's all I have today. So this will be the plan going forward. So maybe I'll try to release one video per week, or maybe it's one every 2 weeks, so we'll see. It depends how things go for me in the next weeks, but so that's the plan. So I guess that's my first YouTube video. So the first one is always the hardest, so thank you if you're still here. Thank you, and I see you again soon. Bye.